Hi there everybody, welcome back to another of my mental health videos. In this video I would like to go a bit more into the detail of being a OCD sufferer, but mainly being a pure sufferer of OCD. But the intention of this video is to give people out there, businesses, business leaders, management teams and society in general a greater idea of what it's like to live with an illness like Puro and to take this illness everywhere you go, at work, at social events with friends, even a walk to the shops. So as I mentioned in my last video, I suffered from Puro along the terms of intrusive thoughts. This is what these thoughts are termed by medical professionals who study OCD, that people with OCD and Puro suffer from intrusive thoughts. Now my intrusive thoughts were along the lines of go and punch this person, go and bring great violent harm to this person, even murder this person. But these were the thoughts. I never carried out these thoughts, they never led to any actions. But when you suffer from OCD and Puro, the thoughts terrify you so much and cause you so much emotional and mental pain that you basically become petrified of them. But at the same time, you can't stop thinking about them. That's where OCD comes from, because you obsess about these thoughts, and the compulsion can come from because they bring you so much pain that you will do anything to take yourself away from that pain. And what I mean by that is at one point, because of my Puro becoming so bad, I never left my home for 7 months. I became housebound for 7 months because even a simple walk to the shops and walking by people would trigger these thoughts. As I walked by them, I would get thoughts of go and punch this person, go and bring great harm to this person. And it was causing me so much mental and emotional pain that I basically just became housebound to avoid these triggers, because these situations would trigger the thoughts and cause me so much pain that I didn't want to go outside. Basically, I didn't want to socialise. I just cut myself off from the world. But as I mentioned, I'd like to share more so business leaders get an idea of what it's like to have employees who are suffering from these types of illnesses. It doesn't need to be OCD, because most employees still don't speak about mental health for fear of losing their job, fear of being judged, ridiculed, made fun of, being bullied. And I certainly knew, working in the oil and gas industry in Scotland from 1993 through the 90s, through the noughties, even just up to recently, that this could all happen to me by talking about this. Companies may deem me not good enough, they may look for ways to get rid of me. I could be bullied by people around me, and in the last 3-4 years since I've been sharing my story, much of that hasn't happened. Some of the bullying has, but much of that hasn't happened. So I'll give you an example now of how this would affect me at work and cause what we term presenteeism. So I would be at work and I may have to speak to someone to ask them some information that I require to carry out a task at work in the oil and gas industry in Scotland. And as I'm talking to this person and gaining this information from them, at the same time I would be having thoughts in my mind saying, go and punch this person, go and bring great physical harm to this person. And the action wouldn't be carried out because I didn't want to carry the action out, but this would be the thoughts, this would be my illness. And then once I'd got the information from this person, I would go and sit at my desk and I would carry on with whatever I had to do for the task. But at the same time, I would be saying to myself, why am I having these thoughts now? I knew I was having them because I'd been diagnosed with OCD and I'd been diagnosed with Puro. But it was like, why can't I stop these thoughts? And this is another thing that OCD sufferers do. We ruminate over the thoughts because we can't get rid of them. We ruminate on them and we start questioning ourselves morally. Is this me morally? Is this what I want to do? Is this my beliefs? And it really, really drags us down. And I noticed during those pages it would drain my energies, but also my thoughts got so bad that I attempted suicide because I just wanted it to stop. It was so painful that only 5-6 years ago I tried to take my own life. But if I go back to after speaking to the person and I'm sat at my desk, I'd be working away mentally, but my mind would be split. It was almost as if my personality was split. I would be trying to do the task, but at the same time my thought would be, is this true to me? Do I want to do this? And at the end of the day, when I went home, this wouldn't stop. I would still be going through this in the house. Is this what I want to do? Do I want to harm these people? I would be constantly questioning myself. And then when I went to sleep at night, I would have nightmares. I would wake in sweats, with panic. I'd be having nightmares that I had carried out these thoughts. And then when I woke up in the morning, I had another day of this. This actually happened to me every day for Puro, every day for 18 years, until I started working with an expert in London, a human behaviour expert, to help heal me of these thoughts. During my time in the NHS, I wasn't treated greatly by all people. I was told that my OCD was incurable. I was told my Puro was incurable. Some of these people actually seemed to take joy in making me feel worthless, and it gave me a mindset of that my life would never improve. This was it for me because this is what I was told, until I began working with an expert in London to help heal me and get rid of these thoughts, cure these thoughts, because these thoughts no longer exist. I can actually have a conversation at work now, take information off people without having any of this noise and thoughts in my mind. But at work it did affect me. It affected my focus, it affected my concentration. I would sometimes miss information that I shouldn't be missing. I became so introverted at work that I wouldn't contribute in meetings. And I suppose there's lots of people in the workplace who may be going through the same. And as I say, my intention of this video is for business leaders to gain a greater understanding of how mental health illnesses affect their employees, because this was how it affected me. But since working with an expert, this expert being Tony Yeton Selene, he's gave me my confidence back, he's given me my concentration back, he's given me my focus back. He's given me so much confidence that I'm even confident enough to speak about this openly, because I want people to know, I want industries to know, I want business leaders to know, I want the oil and gas industry that I work in Scotland to know that this is what people are going through, and they're fearful to speak about it because they're fearful that it may end their career. And I hope this video has proved informative to those of you watching it who may be business leaders, who may be managers, because it's a very hard thing to speak about mental health. It's a very hard thing for managers even to start a conversation. It could even be the manager, it could even be the business leader who's going through these problems, and their fear could be that if they speak about it, they may get demoted, they may be seen as not being good enough. the company may find a way to get rid of them. We all have these fears. I even have these fears by me speaking about this. Is it damaging my career? But I do believe it's important that we start to hear these stories, because they do cost businesses trillions. This has been proven by studies that by not dealing with mental health in the workplace, it lowers companies' productivity, performance, profits. In the UK, it costs £1,300 per employee. In Australia, it's £2,000 per employee. And it costs companies worldwide trillions. So I hope this video has given you a bit more insight into what it's like to be a puro sufferer, OCD sufferer, or a sufferer of any mental health illness, and to take this into work every day and take this everywhere you go. As I say, this was most certainly my case up until 5 years ago when I began working with an expert. And if you'd like for this expert to be introduced to your employees, to your business, so you can see some of the results or all of the results that I've spoken about in this video for your employees, for their concentration to improve, for their focus to improve, for their communication to improve, because I never used to communicate. I was so introverted I couldn't communicate with people, because communication is key for businesses to be successful, and to have a more open culture around supporting employee mental health. My recommendation for you is to contact Tony Yaton-Salimi. You can do this via his website, or you can contact his PA Alma directly at info@tonysalimi.com. Wouldn't it be great for your employees to be able to discuss openly the way I'm discussing this openly? Wouldn't that help build a more collaborative workplace, a more diverse workplace where diversity and inclusion thrives? Wouldn't it be great just to see your employees thriving and not living in fear? Thank you for watching.